All right, let's dive into this, huh? Solid wood flooring. Specifically the finishes.
It can be a lot.
It can be. I mean, we've got some research here, a lot of it. And it's exciting thinking about, real wood floors.
Yeah.
That timeless look.
Right.
But then you get into the finishes.
Exactly. And it can be overwhelming.
Right.
And it's about more than just the look. The finish really determines how durable your floor is, how you take care of it, how it ages.
So it's not just picking a color.
Yeah.
It's like
deciding its personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our research breaks it down into 6 types. Let's jump into the first one. Brushed and lacquered. I see they mentioned mischievous dogs.
Yeah.
And I've got pets, so that durability thing, that caught my eye.
Durability is key with that one. Brushing, you're bringing out the natural grain of the wood. They actually take wire brushes, wear away the softer parts, gives it that texture. And then the lacquer on top, it seals it all in. So it's smooth, it reflects the light, it's tough, it's easy to clean.
So built-in protection, right, from scratches and spills and all that.
Exactly.
Does it ever feel, though, I'm curious, less like real wood?
Interesting.
Because it's so perfect.
That's a good point. Some people, I think they do feel like lacquer can look a little formal.
Right.
Maybe even synthetic.
Right.
So if you're going for that ultra-natural, real wood feel, we'll get to some options that are probably better for you.
Okay, good to know. All right, so next up, brushed and oiled. I'm picturing a Scandinavian cabin vibe here, all that natural light and kind of that warm organic feel.
Spot on. That's exactly the aesthetic this one brings out. The oil actually soaks into the wood.
Right.
It nourishes it from within. It doesn't just sit on top like lacquer does.
So it's not just a coating, it's a...
More of a treatment.
Treatment. Okay, more upkeep then, compared to lacquer.
Generally, yes. Think of it like a leather jacket. You got to condition it to keep it looking good, supple, rich.
Uh-oh. Does that mean I need to be a hands-on person for this type of floor?
Well, it depends. Are you someone who enjoys that kind of thing, or are you more, low maintenance?
Oh, I am so low maintenance. So maybe this isn't the one for me, even if it does look amazing. This nourishing from within thing, does it really change how the wood ages over time?
Absolutely. It becomes part of the wood, so it ages more naturally. You get a patina, that rich look that deepens over time.
Right.
Whereas with lacquer, sometimes you see scratches, that just look like damage to the coating.
It's not the wood that's aging, it's just getting messed up.
Right.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so let's move on. Hand scraped. This one, to me, it's all about character. Each plank is unique.
Exactly. This is where the craftsmanship comes in. It's literally hand scraped. So you get those grooves and textures. No 2 floors will look the same.
So it's like a piece of history.
Yeah.
Right under your feet. Are there certain types of wood that look better hand scraped than others?
That's a great question. And yes, there are. Oak, for example. It's got a strong grain pattern, so it looks stunning when it's hand scraped.
Cool. Okay. Maybe we can talk more about different types of wood later, because it seems like that plays a role too.
Definitely. Each wood species has its own personality.
It does. All right, next one. We've got simply lacquered. This is the classic one, right? The one we probably all picture when we think of wood floors.
That's right. This is the classic, smooth, glossy look. A lot of people associate it with, a polished aesthetic.
Right.
It's also really durable and easy to clean. So it makes sense it's popular, especially in high traffic areas or busy households.
Oh, speaking of busy households, the research actually mentions a toy truck collection.
Yeah.
Which, I can relate. But wouldn't you see every little mark on a lacquered floor and every speck of dust?
It's true that, high gloss finishes, they do show imperfections more. But modern lacquers are really durable. Regular sweeping, an occasional damp mop, and you're good. And there are also satin or matte lacquer options, so you can get a softer sheen.
Oh, so it's not just one level of shine.
Right.
Got it. Okay. Oiled. This one I'm imagining warm, inviting, that matte look that really shows off the wood. But we talked earlier about needing to take care of oiled floors.
Yeah.
What does that actually look like? What do you have to do?
Well, remember, unlike lacquer, oil doesn't create that protective layer. It soaks in.
Right.
So you have to replenish it over time to keep it looking good and protected. So usually it's applying a thin coat of oil, letting it soak in, wiping off the excess. How often you do that, it really depends on the type of oil and how much traffic the floor gets.
So it's not just a one-time thing. It's an ongoing
commitment.
Yeah. Okay. So this is for people who they really, really love natural wood, huh?
Yes. It's for people who want to see that natural aging process. Yeah. And who are willing to put in the time.
I get it. All right, last but not least, unfinished. This sounds like a total DIY dream, like a blank canvas.
It is. You have full control. You pick the stain, the oil or lacquer you want to use, how shiny you want it, if you want something truly unique.
Wow. I'm already picturing all these ideas, like a metallic stain for a loft, or maybe whitewash for a beach house.
I love it.
Endless possibilities. Sounds like you need to know what you're doing, though, right? To do it yourself.
You do. You need to be comfortable working with wood, applying finishes evenly. If you're not sure, it's always best to talk to a professional.
Good point. Okay, so we've gone through all 6. This is great. I feel so much more informed already. But I bet our listeners are thinking, okay, how do I actually choose?
Let's talk about that.
So 6 main types of finishes: brushed and lacquered, brushed and oiled, hand scraped, lacquered, oiled, and unfinished.
Yeah.
But now we need to narrow it down. This is a big decision. I mean, solid wood floors.
They are. They're an investment. You're going to have them for a long time, maybe decades.
Right, exactly.
So it's more than just how they look. It's thinking about how they're going to wear,
Right.
how they'll age, how much work you want to put in to keep them looking good.
Yeah, I think it's easy to get caught up in that first, ooh, I love that one. But you don't think about all that other stuff?
Right. Like you fall in love with a high gloss lacquered floor because it looks so shiny and pretty, and then you're constantly wiping up smudges and footprints.
Or you go for that gorgeous oiled look, but then you realize you don't have time to keep oiling it.
Right. Exactly. So that's why we're going through all this, to help you make a good decision. So let's say you've narrowed it down to a few favorites. What are some things you should ask yourself before you commit?
Okay, well, first thing that comes to mind, traffic.
Yeah.
How much traffic is that area going to get? Like a hallway, a living room, those are high traffic areas.
Right. Think about it. Kids running around, pets, heavy furniture.
And lifestyle too, right?
Yeah.
I'm all about low maintenance, but some people really get into that whole, taking care of their floors thing.
Exactly. Exactly. There's no right or wrong. Are you someone who enjoys hands-on care, or do you want to just set it and forget it?
Team set it and forget it over here. But then also just the overall vibe. Are you going for modern and sleek, warm and rustic, or I don't know, something totally different?
Yeah, the aesthetic. Each finish creates a different mood.
Right.
And it's not just the floor itself. It's thinking about the furniture, the lighting. It's all connected.
Ooh. And
Yeah.
envisioning a mood board with fabrics and paint swatches and little samples of the wood.
That's a great idea. And wood is so versatile. It can work with so many different styles. Classic, modern, anything. Don't be afraid to let your own taste come through.
Okay, now I'm curious. What about the type of wood itself? I mean, we keep talking about oak, but there's so many others.
There are. And that is a huge part of the decision, too. It's just like with the finishes. Different woods have different personalities.
Right.
Some are super durable. Some have amazing grain patterns. Some are warmer. Some are cooler.
So it's double the personality, the wood and the finish.
Right.
How do you know what goes well together?
That's the fun part. It's all about understanding how the wood, its natural qualities, how the finish is going to work with that. Enhance it, maybe even change it.
Give me an example.
Okay, so you love that rustic look.
Yeah.
Lots of texture. You might choose oak. Oak has that strong grain. And then you pair it with a brushed and oiled finish. Really brings out those textures.
Ooh, I love that. So it's like having reclaimed wood, but, brand new.
Yeah.
What if you want something smooth, though? More modern?
Then maybe you go with maple. Maple has a tighter grain. It's more uniform. Even a simple lacquer would look beautiful.
Yeah.
And it would be sleek, polished.
So it's like a dance
It is.
between the wood and the finish. Okay, this is making me want to research all the different woods.
I know. It's so interesting. But before you get lost in the woods, let's bring it back down to earth.
Back to reality.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've covered a lot. The finishes, the types of wood, the style. What are the big things you want people to remember when they're choosing a floor?
Okay, well, first of all, remember, it's personal.
Yep.
There's no right answer for everyone. Trust your gut. Think about your lifestyle, the mood you're going for. And don't be afraid to, try something different.
I love that. It's about finding a floor that speaks to you.
Right. And solid wood, it's meant to be lived on.
Yeah.
It's something to enjoy, even cherish.
Oh, I like that. It's a surface that's going to see all your life's moments.
Exactly. So have fun with the process.
Yeah.
Explore, get inspired, and create a space that really feels like home.
This has been amazing. Thank you for walking us through all of this.
It's been my pleasure.
Okay, so finishes, types of wood, style. We covered so much.
We did.
I'm ready to make a mood board right now.
That's great. And, remember, it's not just about, being practical.
Mhm.
Solid wood, it brings something natural into your home,
It's true.
something with history, with
Yes.
character.
It's like you're not just picking a floor, you're picking like a companion for your space.
Yeah,
That's gonna like age with you.
it is.
Yeah.
And like any good companion, you kind of got to trust your gut.
Okay, that makes sense. So anything else people should think about as they're going through this process?
Well, do your research like we
Hmm.
talked about. Maybe talk to a professional if you need to. But honestly, trust your gut.
Mm.
Don't be afraid to pick something that just speaks to you, even if it's a little different.
Get your home. You get to decide.
Exactly. And solid wood, it's meant to be lived on, enjoy it. Take care of it.
It's gonna see it all, right?
It is the good, the bad, the spilled milk.
Yeah,
That's
everything. So have fun with it, right?
yes.
Experiment. Find what you love.
Create a space that feels like home.
Perfect. This was
Mhm.
so helpful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm glad we could, break it all down.
Yeah, this was great.
So to all our listeners out there, good luck.
Yes, happy flooring. We'll
Yeah.
see you next time for another deep dive.
Until then.